السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. جاء الموعد. أول شيء كما اعتدنا، يا ريت من يستطيع أن يسمعني جيدا أن يكتب في التعليقات أن الصوت واضح، ريتما يأتي عبد الرحمن إن شاء الله. هل الصوت واضح؟ هل تستطيعون سماعي؟ تمام. ننتظر عبد الرحمن ليكون معنا في البث إن شاء الله.
السلام عليكم
السلام
ورحمة الله
عليكم
وبركاته.
ورحمة الله وبركاته. How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah, doing fantastic. It's just
I'm
outside a beautiful walk out here in Casablanca, Morocco.
mashallah. I'm glad you accepted our invitation.
Yes,
And
Jazakallah.
I will just say something in Arabic for 1 minute for the people who are watching
Yes,
us. Then I will back to you, inshallah, to start the interview.
absolutely, inshallah.
كما أخبرتكم سنقوم الآن لن أقول أنها مقابلة، هي مجرد تعرف على أخ جديد لنا في الإسلام إن شاء الله، عبد الرحمن، وهو من الجيش الأمريكي، هو مقاتل الجيش الأمريكي، جندي أمريكي، وتحول إلى الإسلام منذ مدة ليست ببعيدة. هذه المقابلة إن شاء الله لإجابة على بضع أسئلة كتبتوها في تعليقات على حسابي في فيسبوك لعبد الرحمن. أيضا سأقوم بسؤاله بضع أسئلة متعلقة بإسلامه وطريقه الدعوي إن شاء الله كونه أصبح داعية. فإن شاء الله الآن نبدأ في التعرف على عبد الرحمن. So first of all, I don't want you to take this as a serious interview. We are just like welcoming a new brother in Islam, inshallah, for us. We just want to know you more, and we are excited to know more about your story and what brought you to Islam. And I have some very interesting questions from brothers and sisters who really like to know you more. So can you start a little bit? We have like in Instagram, we can do 1 hour video live. We cannot do more. So I would like, first of all, to tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? How old are you? Like biography about yourself.
Okay, fantastic. Jazakallah khair. Okay, yes. So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mark Abdul Rahman here. So I was born, raised in the United States, just outside of New York City. Pretty much my entire life, lived there. Family was a Roman Catholic family. Father was the director of music at the Catholic Church over here. So we're always very, very much active and involved in the religious side. Growing up, had a brother and a sister, and alhamdulillah, life has been fantastic. Always very active in the church and everything like that. So growing up, there's few experiences in my life. I remember when I was about the 4th grade. I was about 10 years old, sitting in class, and I'll remember we were covering a world geography class, and in that class we were covering talking about the area of the Middle East, and just had like a brief, just maybe like a page or so discussion about it, and the teacher had one of these old carousel slideshows. And I'll never forget the day because it was a beautiful sunny day. I was sitting on the left side of the classroom. It was beautiful sunny. The sun was coming in, and we got to the slide that showed a picture of Mecca and the Kaaba. And I raised my hand in class. I was like, wow, that's so beautiful. I was like, wow, I want to go there. And the teacher was like, I'm so sorry, but unfortunately, Christians are not allowed to go there. Christians and Jews. Only Muslims can go to Mecca and the Kaaba. And I was so heartbroken. I literally started to cry. I started to cry in class because I wanted to go see the Mecca. I wanted to go see this thing called the Kaaba. It was just so incredibly beautiful, just so beautiful.
So I will translate.
So heartbroken.
I would translate this part for them, so I don't forget anything from what you said. Then you can complete if you don't mind, please. So عبد الرحمن هو أمريكي الجنسية، ولد في نيويورك وعاش في نيويورك في عائلة أمريكية كاثوليكية، عائلة متدينة، واعتاد الذهاب إلى الكنيسة وكان ملتزم بالديانة المسيحية. ما حصل أنه في يوم من الأيام كان في أحد فصول الدراسة، وكان أظن أحد فصول في الجغرافيا، وتم عرض صورة لما يدعى في الشرق الأوسط، وظهرت صورة للكعبة الشريفة في السلايد. فكان متفاجئ ومتلهف للذهاب إلى هذا المكان، ولكن الأستاذ أو الأستاذة في المدرسة أخبروه أنه لا يستطيع الذهاب إلى هذا المكان كونه هو غير مسلم، كونه مسيحي، ولا يستطيع الغير مسلم دخول إلى مكة والمدينة. فنكمل الآن. So you can keep going, yeah.
Okay, yes. And so growing up, that was about the first time that I really, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really started reaching out to me, calling me into Islam. I just never knew it. My entire life, I always believed that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, always believed he was a prophet messenger of God, because there is no possible way you can have a religion that spans 1400 plus years with almost 2 billion followers worldwide.
Subhanallah.
Something that only a prophet and messenger of God can do. No other human being can do that. No human being can create a religion like that and have it grow and prosper so beautifully as it has. So I always believed Muhammad was a prophet and messenger of God, always, my entire life. It wasn't until I was in about the 8th grade, I was about 14 years old, and I was struck with appendicitis. And it was not just appendicitis, but it had, my appendix had actually ruptured inside, and it filled my entire abdominal cavity with infection called peritonitis. And it extended all the way up underneath my lungs, all the way down to my groin. And I was so incredibly sick from it. It was an excruciating pain. My parents took me to the hospital, and at the time the doctors couldn't understand. They didn't know what was going on. So the doctors decided to bring me in for emergency exploratory surgery. And when they started to cut me open, they said all they saw was just pus and infection just flowing out from inside my internal abdominal cavity. So they quite literally had to remove all of my internal organs. They had to wash everything, clean the inside, and put everything back inside. So I have huge scars all over my stomach for when they had to do all that. And the doctor said, it's a miracle of God that you're alive. He said, I've never seen anybody survive. I've never seen anyone survive who had that kind of illness. He said, there's no medical way to explain why you're still here. He said, the only thing I can say is you must have a guardian angel keeping you alive, because there's no way that you can be here. So that for me was a real awakening moment.
Okay, so I will translate this part as well. And this is something very special, because when I hear the stories of other people who converted to Islam, there is always that awakening moment, you know, when they start to think again and again. So Abdul Rahman is talking about that moment in his life, that, or before that, he was always believing in Prophet Muhammad. I need to start translating in Arabic, not in English. So he was telling that هو دائما كان مؤمن بالنبي محمد عليه الصلاة والسلام على أنه نبي، وسبب إيمانه بذلك قبل أن يسلم حتى بأن ليس من المنطقي أن تكون هنالك دعوة من رجل لأكثر من 1400 سنة إلى يومنا هذا ما زالت مستمرة، وهنالك أكثر من 1.5 مليار مسلم حول العالم. بالنسبة له هذا لم يكن شيئا منطقيا أن يحصل لولا أن محمد هو فعلا رسول ونبي من عند الله سبحانه وتعالى. فهو كان مؤمن بأن محمد عليه الصلاة والسلام هو نبي مبعوث من الله سبحانه وتعالى. ثم تحدث عن أزمة صحية تعرض لها، أزمة صحية خطيرة جدا. دخل إلى المشفى وحصلت بعض الالتهابات، وعندما قاموا بمعالجته قاموا بعملية معقدة، وأخبره أنه نجا بأعجوبة، حتى أن أحد الدكاترة قال له بأن هنالك ملاك قام بحمايتك. yeah, next, what we can say also.
Okay. So that for me was the first of many moments in my life where really I owe my existence on this earth to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for being alive. You know, there's a saying that we have, you know, it's a cat has 9 lives.
Yes.
And subhanallah, for myself, there have been so many times in my life where by no means should I be alive, but I am here today. And so a lot of times I will often say I could live 1,000 lives over and never be able to do enough good in any one of those 1,000 lives combined to show enough gratitude and thanks to Allah for being here today. There's no way, not even 1,000 lives would be enough to repay Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for being here today.
You just
Um,
put the tears on my face, you know, because it's yeah, truly, because it's something we experience it every single day, but we don't think about it. At least I'm talking about us, we who were born Muslims, you know, so we didn't pass through this experience that you passed through, and
yeah.
probably this is the most interesting thing we really want to know from your side. I want to translate this part. It's very special.
Yes.
عبد الرحمن يتحدث عن نقطة هامة جدا، أن هذه التجربة بين الحياة والموت بالنسبة له جعلته يفكر مرة أخرى في عظمة وجودي في هذه الدنيا، على أنه منح فرصة أخرى. تحدث عن، نقول في العامية، مثل القط في 7 أرواح، فتحدث على أنه كان له روح أخرى، أو كان أحد قام بإنقاذه، وأنه ممتن جدا للخالق على إعطائه هذه الفرصة من جديد. كنت أخبره بأننا نحن المسلمون الذين ولدنا مسلمين لم نخوض مثل هذه التجربة، فأحيانا تفاصيل صغيرة في حياتنا لكنها مهمة لا نشعر بقيمتها لأننا معتادون عليها. عبد الرحمن مختلف عنا تماما، لم يكن مسلما، عاش هذه التجربة التي جعلته يفكر مرة أخرى في سبب وجودي في هذه الحياة، وفي كيفية عبادته لهذا الخالق. وأظن هذه كانت نقطة التحول في حياته، في التحول إلى الإسلام أو في الذهاب إلى الإسلام. ما شاء الله. So please.
Yes, yes. So went through high school, went through high school, and then in my graduating year, my final year, I went into the military, and I joined the U.S. Marine Corps. I actually was 17 at the time, and my parents had to sign a special waiver allowing me to go inside the military because I wasn't 18 at the time. So it was quite an experience. They were pretty much against it. They were in shock. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? No, you're going into like the hardest branch that you could possibly go into. And at the time, it was pre 9/11. So there was no prospect of war. There was no everything. The world was, for the most part, a peaceful time, relatively speaking. And so, my recruiter, he said, "Oh, don't worry, don't worry. You know, the world is quiet. You know, he's never going to go overseas. Don't worry about anything. There's no wars. The world is great. You know, he's just going to sit back, relax, and he's going to have a great old time." And a few years later, of course, September 11th happened, 2001, with the World Trade Center. That kind of kicked off this whole global terrorism situation. And so from there, I was fortunate enough not to go into Afghanistan. However, my unit did deploy. We were one of the very first group to go into Iraq from Kuwait, and we went from Kuwait to Al-Nasiriyah, to Basra, to Al-Qut, and up to Baghdad, into Tikrit, and throughout the entire province.
Okay, so I would translate this part as well, please, if
Yes.
you allow me. So بعد ذلك عبد الرحمن كان يريد الدخول إلى الجيش، تطوع في الجيش الأمريكي، فتطوع في قوات المارينز الأمريكية. أهله لم يكونوا على رضا تام بهذا الخيار، لكن بالنهاية تطوع في عفوا في الجيش الأمريكي. كان يتحدث عن الفترة ما قبل تطوعه وما بعد تطوعه. بعد أن تطوع في الجيش الأمريكي حدثت أحداث 11 من سبتمبر، 11 أيلول، برجي التجارة العالميين. يقول أنه كان محظوظ أنه لم يكن من الوحدة التي أرسلت من الوحدات التي أرسلت إلى أفغانستان للقتال أفغانستان، لكنه كان من الوحدات التي أرسلت للقتال في العراق. ذهب إلى الكويت في البداية، ومن ثم ذهب إلى العراق وتحدث عن المدن التي دخل إليها في العراق. Okay.
Okay, and so during that entire time, it was first time going to war. I had never been to war. Our whole time in preparing for it, my sergeants, commanders, they were telling us, get ready, get ready, get ready. And one of the things is they said, make sure you have your wills, your testaments, your power of attorneys, make sure you have all your paperwork in order. He said, be prepared because some of you are likely not going to return home. Some of you are going to be killed and die. And so it was a very traumatic time mentally and emotionally going through this. And it was definitely a trial. And there were so many times, unfortunately, I had 5 very, very, very good close friends who were killed with me while I was over there. And that shook me up deeply. I had to witness 5 of my good friends killed right there in front of me. And so it was extraordinarily painful. For me, I would I would cry myself to sleep every single night, literally cry. Every night, I would literally cry. I would beg to God. I would have tears. I would be pouring tears down my face, crying to God, please, just let me live just a few more hours. Let me live long enough just to see one more sunrise. And if you kill me in the day, then I can die in peace. If you blow me up, if I get shot, if you send me home in a bag, in a box, and bury me, I can die in peace. And literally crying. And every morning when I woke up, I was so grateful to God that I was able to wake up that morning, that I didn't die in the middle of the night. And
Okay, I will translate. I will translate this part as well. So, يتحدث عبد الرحمن على أن ذهابه إلى العراق كان صعبا جدا. قبل ذهابه أخبره المسؤول عنه في الجيش الأمريكي بأن أن هناك نسبة كبيرة أن من يذهبون لا يعودون. ممكن أن تكون مقتولا هناك أو ممكن أن تكون مأسورا هناك. يقول بأنه تعرض لأزمات نفسية كبيرة جدا في العراق بسبب وفاة أقرب 4 أو 5 زملاء له في الجيش الأمريكي أمام عينيه في العراق. كان يدعو الله في كل ليلة أن يعطيه فرصة أخرى للنجاة. كان يبكي بدموع غزيرة في كل ليلة، يتمنى من الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يعطيه فرصة أخرى للعيش، لأن يرى شمس نهار جديد. وكان كل ما يدعوه أن يموت بسلام. Yes, we can complete.
And so every single morning, I would I would cry and cry every morning, begging God, begging with my life, just to live a few more minutes, just a few more hours, just to see the sunset. And if I died in the middle of the night, if I got shot, if I got blown up, if they sent me home in a bunch of pieces in a bag, I could die in peace because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me that gift, that blessing, just to live a few more hours of life on this earth, just to be able to breathe air for a few more hours, just have a few more minutes remaining to my life. And when I was in the south of Iraq, there was an area, we're about 400 miles inland from the ocean, far just in the desert. And I'll never forget, it was just after, it was after Fajr prayer, because they had called the adhan. And it was, if you've ever heard the adhan in the middle of the desert, subhanAllah, there's just something so beautiful and amazing about it. You know, not even being a Muslim at the time, just to hear the adhan in the desert is just beautiful. And so I won't forget, there was this one time in the morning, it was after Fajr, and I was walking to my position, and it was the sun was just about to come over the horizon, and it was so beautiful. It was bright reds and oranges and yellows and blues, and you know, just as the sun was getting to rise. And I looked down at the ground. In fact, the ground, you know, not much different than the ground that I'm right here in front of you, right? And I scoop up the earth, the dirt, and I hold in my hand this dirt. And what I see are hundreds of little seashells and sandrills and all of this sea life that once was, I guess, from millions of years ago. And it just struck me. I was like, wow, this is so amazing how this once used to be like just incredible. All of this life, you know, teeming life in my hands. And it was in that exact moment I felt the presence of Isa alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I felt the presence of every one of the prophets. Like they literally put their arm around me to hug me, to give me peace. And instantly, within like a fraction, like a snap of a finger, instantly, absolute and total peace and tranquility. And not only that, but I had this feeling, like this presence, like it was, I have nothing to fear, not to worry about anything. I was going to be perfectly okay, that I was going to come home fine. And literally, it was in the snap of a finger that this experience happened. And absolutely every fear, every worry, everything just gone, instantly gone. Just absolute peace and tranquility. And that peace and tranquility lasted and stayed with me ever since.
And all of this before you became Muslim. All of this
Yes,
happening in
yes,
Iraq still. Yes.
yes, correct.
So I will translate this part as well.
Okay.
في يوم من الأيام كان في منطقة في العراق قريبة جدا من الشاطئ، وفي لحظات ما قبل الفجر يخبرني أنها كانت صحراء، فكان يسمع صوت الأذان، وكان صوت الأذان جميل جدا في تلك المنطقة، كانت مساحة خالية جدا فكان يسمع صوت الأذان. ثم وضع يده على التراب، وخرج من تحت التراب بعض، حسب ما فهمت، بعض الأشياء التي تخرج من البحر. فكانت لحظة شاعرية بالنسبة إليه، كانت لحظة تأمل في هذه الحياة وفي جمالية هذه الحياة، كانت لحظة أمان يبحث عنها بعد العديد من الليالي التي كان يبكي فيها خوفا على حياته. يقول أنه بعد هذه اللحظة لم يشعر بأي خوف على حياته، كانت لحظة اطمئنان، واستمر هذا الاطمئنان معه لفترة طويلة. Okay.
Okay, and so just this incredible peace that lasted with me, and just total peace and tranquility. And while I was in Iraq, because we were with the Marines, we were the first ones there. We were moving very, very, very quickly. So we had very limited rations, we had limited supplies, limited food, limited water. And the people of Iraq, they saw that we had very little of anything. And so may God bless them. They offered us to have dinner with them. They invited us into their house to eat with them because we didn't have enough food. They offered us their water to drink because we didn't have enough water with us. And quite literally, when we slept in the night, we would literally dig our grave. We would sleep in our grave. We would dig a hole in the ground, and that's where we would sleep. So we were quite literally sleeping in our graves. And so they saw this, and they invited us to even sleep in their houses, to stay in their houses. And for me, that was beyond comprehension, because I think about, like, in terms of the United States, how would the United States respond if a country like Mexico decided to invade the United States? You know, would they invite the Mexican army to stay in their house, to eat their food? Would we be inviting them to eat our food, to give them shelter, to provide them everything? So it didn't make sense, because normally you don't do that. You don't find a people who do
True.
that. So it's just completely mind-boggling. Like, I didn't quite understand it. And so I wanted to learn more about these people, these Iraqis. So I figured, what better way to learn about a people than to learn about them through the religion? Because if you learn and understand the religion, that will help you understand their laws, their customs, their courtesies, how they live. It will explain a basic foundation for the people. So while I was in Iraq, I ended up buying a Quran, both English and Arabic, and I read the entire Quran. And I thought, wow, so this is beautiful. It's like, now I understand why these people are so beautiful and amazing. And while I was there, I actually bought about a dozen prayer rugs because they were just so beautiful prayer rugs. They were just so beautiful. And a lot of them I gave away as gifts. But little would I know, 20 years later, I would be using that same Quran and the same prayer rugs to pray on every day.
Subhanallah.
So it's the qadr of Allah.
So يقول بأنه في يوم من الأيام تم إرساله في أحد المهمات مع مجموعته، وكان لديهم كميات محدودة جدا من الطعام والشراب، حتى أنهم كانوا في كل ليلة يقومون بحفر قبورهم بأيديهم ليناموا فيها، لم يكونوا يناموا على الأرض من الخوف. يتحدث بالمجمل، يتحدث عن خوف وأزمة نفسية شديدة يتعرض لها الجنود الأمريكيين في مهماتهم، خاصة في العراق حيث كان. لكن يقول ما كان ملفتا جدا أن الشعب العراقي كان كريما، كانوا يعطونهم الماء والطعام حين رأوهم أنهم بحاجة لماء وطعام قاموا بإعطائهم الماء والطعام. فيقول بأن هذا كان شيء غريب بالنسبة إليه، لأنه كان يفكر لو أن المكسيك قامت بالهجوم على الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، فهل سيقوم المواطنون الأمريكان بتقديم الطعام والشراب للجيش المكسيكي الذي يأتي لاحتلال أرضهم؟ هذا الشيء غير منطقي. لماذا الشعب العراقي يقدم الطعام والشراب حتى أن بعضهم قام دعوتهم للنوم في منازلهم؟ كان هذا الشيء غريب بالنسبة إليه، لذلك أحب أن يتعرف على هؤلاء الناس. لماذا هؤلاء الناس يقومون بمساعدتنا وتقديم المعونة لنا؟ فقال بأن أكثر ما من الممكن أن أتعرف به على هؤلاء الناس هو عن طريق التعرف على ديانتهم، على الإسلام. فأول ما فعله أنه اشترى القرآن الكريم وبدأ بقراءة القرآن الكريم، حتى أنه اشترى أو تم إهداؤه سجادة صلاة، ولم يكن في حسبانه في ذلك الوقت أنه في يوم من الأيام سيستخدم هذا الكتاب وسيستخدم هذه السجادة ليقوم بالصلاة كمسلم. يقول بأنه عندما قرأ القرآن الكريم للمرة الأولى تفهم لماذا هؤلاء الناس كانوا يقدمون الطعام والشراب رغم أننا أعداؤهم. Okay.
Okay, and so yeah, so how amazing it was. What I would think that 20 years later I would be using these same Quran, same prayer rug.
SubhanAllah. We
So
say you have your plan, I have my plan, but Allah has His own plan. You
yes,
know, you went to Iraq for something and you came back from Iraq with something else.
yes, no, exactly. And I say Alhamdulillah. So for me, I came from a very active religious family. And of course, I thought, Islam, wow, this is beautiful, this religion, it explains everything. And I always looked at Islam as a religion, not as a religion towards myself. It was just a religion, and it explained what they believed. Especially being that I came from a very strong Catholic background. So when I got back from Iraq, I said, there were so many times that I should have been killed, so many times that I should have been shot dead, so many times I should have been blown up from bombs going off. And Allah kept me alive and protected every single time. And when I was there and I really reflected upon that, I thought, here I was, as a child, I should have died so many times. Growing up, I should have died, going into the Marines, going into Iraq, I should have died by all means so many times. Allah is keeping me alive for something. And I literally owe every minute, everything I do, I owe to Allah in gratitude and thanks for still being alive. And so when I came back, I decided to get very, very, very active in the Catholic Church, in youth outreach, Catholic ministry, youth ministry, going out. I was teaching religious education, became an acolyte within the church itself, which is a person who reads from the books, who gives out a Eucharistic minister, who gives out the Eucharist and the blood, as a lector, as a server, altar server, and so standing side by side during the entire church service, quite helping him conduct the entire mass. And so very active with the youth. We'd go out into different areas, different cities. We'd go out helping the elderly, helping the homeless. We'd be working in the food pantries. So it was a very community service oriented, very, very much active. And it was during this time that I decided, you know what? I want to take this to the next level because I owe too much of my life to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for being alive. So I decided I wanted to go this next level and become ordained as a priest, as a deacon within the Roman Catholic Church.
Yes.
And so so it's actually being sponsored by one of the main churches within the diocese. And it was during this time, and this is about this is just about 3 years ago. About 3 years ago. So I was getting ready to go into seminary to become ordained as a deacon, and I had this one sister who was a friend of mine who I'd known for quite some time. We'd always spoken well as friends, very, very nice. And so we were talking one day, and I made mention that in my heart, I had these incredible uncomfortabilities about the concept of the Trinity. I did not believe in the Trinity. I did not believe Jesus was God. I did not believe how they use saints as intercessors to our prayers because
Mhm.
we're basically making idols.
Exactly.
We're making idols to God. We're making intermediaries. Even though they call them intercessors, you're
Mhm.
still putting someone between you and God, and God should
Exactly.
always be a direct connection. So, and looking at the veneration of the relics, I said, you're making idols. You're worshiping and venerating these objects. You know, this is exactly what they did in the pagan times. And nowheres in reading the entire Bible, because I read the entire Bible cover to cover so many times, I said, nowheres did Jesus ever say, I am God. He never did anything except with God's permission. You know, he raised Lazarus from the dead with God's permission. Everything he did, he never said, I am God. But instead, throughout the one resounding message throughout the entire Bible is, your Lord, your God is one. God is one. He has no partner. He has no equal. He has no children. He has nothing of the sort. So it sat very uncomfortably in my heart that here I was supposed to be becoming ordained as a deacon, as a priest in the Roman Catholic Church, and I did not believe what it was that I was supposed to be preaching.
But
So
I,
it created
but my
real
question
conflict
is, you had that belief inside even before you decide to go and work in the church, right?
all my life.
So
All my life.
how you were able to think that you want to invite people to Christianity if inside of you are not sure about the faith itself? How was that possible?
You know, it was one of those things. It was a deep struggle that I've always had my entire life. And every time I would speak about it, they said, well, that's why it's called faith, because you're just supposed to have blind trust, blind belief, belief without question,
No
belief
answers.
without, exactly. You're just supposed to accept it, and it is what it is. Whether you believe it or not, it is what it is. That's why it's faith, because there's no way to prove it. And it never sat well, because when you read the Bible, when you read everything, everything is very clear. When God speaks clear. He makes you think. He makes you ponder. He makes you question. But he makes the answers very clear in everything that he says. So for to have something like this, it didn't add up. It didn't make sense. But because I committed to myself, I committed to God, I had to do more. I wanted to do more. So that's where it really led.
هل لا أدري إن كان البث متوقف فقط عند عبد الرحمن أو حتى عندي. إذا كان أحدكم يسمعني يا ريت تكتبوا شيء في التعليقات. Yes, I think it's bad connection. I can hear you now, but I cannot see you. أوكي. سننتظر عبد الرحمن ليعود إن شاء الله. سأترجم ما قاله عبد الرحمن حتى يعود. كان يقول عبد الرحمن أنه بعد أن عاد من العراق شعر بالامتنان أن الله سبحانه وتعالى أعطاه فرصة أخرى للعيش في هذه الدنيا، وكان يقول بأنه هذه الفرصة كان هنالك معنى خلفها. كان دائما طالما أن الله سبحانه وتعالى أعطاني هذه الفرصة فلا بد أن هنالك سبب لهذا الشيء. فكونه كان مؤمنا بالله عز وجل كإله، فأراد التقرب من هذا الإله الذي أعطاه فرصة مرة أخرى للعيش. فكونه مسيحي، كونه ولد مسيحيا، فقرر أن يذهب إلى الكنيسة ويحصل على منصب في الكنيسة، منصب مرتفع في الكنيسة، فيما يعمل في حقل التبشير نحو المسيحية. وكان هناك بعض الداعمين، وكان على وشك أن يبدأ في هذا المشروع. لكن كانت المشكلة عنده دائما في بعض المفاهيم في صلب المسيحية. مثلا تحدث عن التثليث، عن الأب والابن والروح القدس، بأنه لم يكن مقتنع بهذا أبدا. تحدث عن شيء مهم جدا، أنه قرأ الإنجيل من الغلاف إلى الغلاف أكثر من مرة، ولم يجد أي آية أو أي مكان ذكر به السيد المسيح بأنه هو الرب. على العكس تماما، كان السيد المسيح يقول دائما بأن كل القوة التي يمتلكها أو كل شيء يقوم به هو بإذن الله عز وجل. سأرسل إليه لكي يقوم بالدخول مرة أخرى. أوكي. إن شاء الله سأقوم بأسئلتكم في الربع ساعة الأخيرة. الآن أريده فقط أن يتحدث عن قصته. تقريبا وصلنا إلى اللحظة التي يختار بها الإسلام. كان يقول بأن هذه الفترة التي كان بها متقلب بتفكيره بالعقيدة المسيحية هي كانت منذ 3 سنوات مضت، فإسلامه جديد. أنتظر الآن أن يأتي. أوكي، ريثما يأتي. ملفت جدا تكرار نفس المواقف مع المسلمين الجدد. الجميع قد عانى من ظروف في حياته أو في موقف من حياته جعله يفكر حول هذه الحياة مرة أخرى. لماذا أنا موجود على هذه الحياة؟ حمزة، من يعرف السبيكرز كورنر في لندن يعرف من هو حمزة. حمزة قصة إسلامه أيضا مشابهة في هذه النقطة. حمزة تعرض لحادث سير، كان على وشك الموت. كان هذا الحادث هو الدافع بالنسبة له ليتخذ الخطوة في أن يقرر أن يصبح مسلما. الملفت في عبد الرحمن أنه لديه هذا الإيمان بوجود خالق، لديه هذا الإيمان بوجود الأنبياء، يؤمن بسيدنا محمد على أنه نبي. أوكي، هو يرسل لي الآن. أوكي. لكن الفكرة أنه لم يكن مسلما، هو فقط ولد مسيحيا، لذلك كان ملتزما بالدين المسيحي. لكن عندما تعمق أكثر في الدين المسيحي وجد أن هذا الدين على حسب قوله لا يجيب على أسئلة كثيرة. الدين المسيحي بالنسبة إليه كان عبارة عن إيمان بغيبيات دون أي تفسير، دون أي إجابات. وهذا بالنسبة إليه كان يعني مكان للتساؤل حول هذه العقيدة. وأنا كنت قد سألته إن كان لديك هذه الأفكار مسبقا، فما الذي دفعك إلى أن تأخذ خطوة إلى الأمام لتكون مبشرا لدين أنت أصلا لا تؤمن به بشكل قوي؟ فكنت أنتظر منه الإجابة على هذه النقطة. يعني أنا أمسكت دموعي أكثر من مرة في المقابلة. يعني سبحان الله، الكثير من الأشياء تحصل في حياتنا ولا نشعر بالامتنان إليها أبدا. يعني سبحان الله لا نفكر بها حتى. نحن نمرض ونشفى ولا نفكر أن الله سبحانه وتعالى قد شفانا وأعطانا فرصة للعيش مرة أخرى. كل حادثة كان يتعرض لها عبد الرحمن كان يفكر كيف أن الله سبحانه وتعالى أنقذه من مرض عندما كان طفلا، وأنقذه من الموت عندما كان في الجيش. كل مرة كان يفكر بالامتنان ويشعر بالامتنان إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى بأنه أعطاه فرصة مرة أخرى للعيش في هذه الحياة. ذكر بأنه عندما كان في تلك اللحظة في أذان الفجر وهو في خوف ورعب شديد في العراق، كونه يؤمن بمحمد على أنه نبي، يؤمن بباقي الأنبياء لكنه مسيحي، شعر بأن كل هؤلاء الأنبياء موسى وعيسى ومحمد وإبراهيم كانوا قد وضعوا يدهم على كتفه لكي يطمئنوه. يعني يقول أن الراحة التي شعر بها في تلك اللحظة استمرت معه إلى يومنا هذا. أشياء ربما من الصعب شرحها، لكن أوكي، جاء عبد الرحمن. السلام
Okay,
عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله
No
وبركاته.
problem. I translated the part, so we didn't lose time. No problem. عبد الرحمن الآن في المغرب، وغالبا هو في منطقة منعزلة في المغرب، لذلك الإنترنت لديه ليس جيد جدا، فننتظر حتى يعود الإنترنت إليه. سأخبركم بشيء طريف عن عبد الرحمن لم أخبره إياه بعد، لكن سأقول له فيما بعد. رأيت الصورة تتحدث منذ 3 أسابيع، لكن الصورة لم تتحدث عن أي شيء. الصورة تقول جندي أمريكي يعلن إسلامه، وكوني مهتم جدا في هذه المواضيع بحثت عنه حتى وجدته وتواصلت معه. Okay,
Okay.
I will give an
Okay.
advice. If you can stay somewhere, don't move a lot, because I think the connection is
Yeah.
not good in all the areas. So if you pick a place where the internet is good,
Okay, give me just a few
if you don't
minutes to move
mind,
into
if you
an
can
area.
do it. If you
Yes.
can't, it's fine.
Okay, give me
Okay, don't
just
worry.
a few minutes.
So I was just telling them that, yes, I was just telling them that first time I heard about you was watching a photo of you and saying that an American soldier became Muslim without any details. And because I was curious, because I wanted to know it's serious or it's fake, whatever, I was trying to search about you. It was really hard to find, but you know, these days we have Google. What I did that I
Yeah,
take your face photo and I just ask Google to search for me wherever there is any website shared this photo before. And Google
yeah,
answered me and give me your page on Facebook. And I
mashallah.
entered there and I got to know you from there. And that's how I reached you actually, because I really wanted to know if this story is true, and subhanAllah, it was true. So I
Yeah,
translated for them the part you were telling me about, how you were thinking about the faith, the Christianity faith, and the questions you had inside of you. And I think you reach the point where you start to think again about the faith you believe in, right?
yes, yes, because in myself, I didn't believe what it was that I was supposed to be teaching and preaching to everybody else. And it was in that same exact time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed this friend to myself. And we spoke. And sorry, we have adhan going on right now for
No, no, no,
Salat
no, no
al-Maghrib.
problem. No, no
So I
problem. No problem.
apologize.
I was trying to,
As
no, 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 at all. I miss the
was
voice of Adhan. In my city here, there is
yes.
no mosque, you know.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, alhamdulillah, here in Morocco, they're around every corner. And
Alhamdulillah.
subhanallah, even in the United States where I'm from, we have maybe about 15 masjids within a 15-minute radius.
MashaAllah.
Uh, so literally, almost a masjid a minute away in any direction. Literally.
Okay.
Um, uh, I say Alhamdulillah, Islam has spread at such an incredible rate throughout the United States. It's such a beautiful blessing. But okay, going back to the story. So yeah, so we had a discussion about how I had this great inner uncomfortability about what it was that I was supposed to be preaching going into the priesthood and the diaconate. And so we were talking, and she said, well, everything that you're describing to me is what we believe as a Muslim. And until that point, I had never thought about Islam as a religion for myself. I always thought of it as a religion. And so it really got me to stop and think, like, wait a minute, you know what? You're right. You know, here I believe, you know, I've read the Quran cover to cover. I know what the Quran says. I believe everything that the Quran says. I have all of these inner uncomfortabilities. I said, you know what? Maybe I'm a Muslim. Maybe I really am a
SubhanAllah.
Muslim. But for me, I said, well, you know, because coming from such a strong Catholic family, I said, well, you know what? I have to find out. Isa, I have to make sure, is Isa really, you know, that they really view Isa as the Messiah and everything else like that. I was like, you know, if you're going to tell me Islam says, you know, on the cover, yeah, we say Isa is this, but then we think otherwise. You know, I was like, yeah, no, I don't want this religion. But subhanAllah, I saw, you know, I learned Islam actually made Jesus more beautiful in Islam than he was in the Christian religion. And I said, wow. I was like, but you know what? Of all these years, of like 20, 30, 40 years, I've never stepped foot in a masjid. So I have no idea how Muslims pray. I don't know what their prayer services are like. So my friend invited me to go with her brother and her father, and we went to the local masjid to go for a Friday Jummah prayer. And I will never forget that Jummah because the one message that they spoke about was the value, the sanctity of life, and not just human life, the life of the value of all of God's creation, of the trees that we have that give us shade, that give us fruit, that give us wood for the shelter to build our houses. Talking about the value of water, the preciousness of water for, you know, so much of this earth is barren. So much of this earth has water that you can't even drink this water because of the salt. You know, how precious water is that we have. And, you know, just the birds of the sky, the fish of the sea, you know, how valuable, how precious all of this is, and how we need to be so careful in respecting the earth, respecting, you know, all of this that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. And I thought,
SubhanAllah.
my God, this is the most beautiful speech, the most beautiful sermon I have ever heard in my life was in that khutbah. And I was like, wow, you know, of all the churches, of all the services I've attended, I've never heard anything like it in my life. It was just so incredibly beautiful.
I will
And so I
translate
went
this
back
part.
with them.
I will translate this part. Too
Yeah.
much details, and I don't want to hide any detail. I mistakenly. I just want to say everything you just mentioned. So
Yes, yes.
عبد الرحمن قابل أحد الأصدقاء وكان مسلما. الصديق كان مسلم أو الصديقة كانت مسلمة، وأخبره أو أخبرها بالأفكار التي تجول في خاطره، وأخبره صديقه بأن كل ما تقوله هو يقول أن كل هذه المشاعر أو الأفكار التي في داخلك تدل على أنك مسلم رغم أنك لست مسلم. فكان هذه المرة الأولى التي كان يفكر بها بالإسلام على أنه من الممكن أن يكون مسلما. كان ينظر دائما إلى الإسلام على أنه ديانة أخرى، لكن لم ينظر إلى الإسلام أبدا على أنه من الممكن أن يكون ديانته الخاصة. تعرف أكثر على الإسلام، قال شيء ملفت جدا. قال بأنه ما أحب بالإسلام أن الإسلام جعل سيدنا عيسى أجمل بكثير مما يبدو عليه في المسيحية. يعني سبحان الله، هذا كلام من رجل كان مسيحيا، يعني يقدس عيسى لدرجة التأليه، ومع هذا يقول أن الإسلام جعل من سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام أجمل صورة من المسيحية، من الإنجيل. فكلام جميل. ثم يقول بأنه ذهب مع عائلة مسلمة قد تعرف عليها، ذهب معهم إلى خطبة الجمعة في يوم من الأيام قبل أن يصبح مسلما. أظن كان هذا في الولايات المتحدة في نيويورك. يقول بأن هناك العديد من المساجد في نيويورك، فذهب إلى أحد هذه المساجد، وكانت الخطبة مميزة جدا لأن الإمام أو الخطيب كان يتحدث عن عظمة العطايا التي أعطاها الله سبحانه وتعالى لنا في هذه الحياة. فكان يتفكر في جمال هذه الخطبة وفي جمال هذه المعاني التي يسمعها من هذا الخطيب. Yes.
Okay, and so it's just so beautiful. So I decided to go back with them after another one, just to see again. And I thought, wow, this religion is so beautiful. The prayers are so beautiful. The khutbahs that they give are so beautiful. I was like, wow, I really want to learn more. So my friend, she tells me, okay, if you really want to learn more, if you're really serious about learning more, go to your local masjid and ask for the imam, and tell the imam that you would like to learn more about Islam. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and do that. So I went to the internet. I researched the local masjid. I said, okay, great. And so, make a long story short, I said, okay, I got the address. I went there, received a phone call. First received a phone call, said, hi, I'm brother, Tariq from the East Brunswick Islamic Center. So you're interested in coming to the masjid? You want to learn more? I said, yes. He's like, well, we're about to pray Isha Salah in just a few minutes here. He said, you're more than welcome to come join us if you like. And so I said, okay. Went ahead and drove there to the masjid. Got to the masjid, and there were only like two, maybe three people inside, just doing their sunnah prayers. And so I went inside. I was looking around. I was all like, oh my goodness, I'm like absolutely terrified. And I'm looking around because I don't know where to go. I don't know anything. First time being completely alone in a masjid like this. And, of course, all of these brothers, had their big beards and everything. And so there's this one brother Zishan. I'll never forget him. He's tall, very thin. And he had this nice big beard. And he goes, can I help you? You look a little bit lost. And I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, which is the quickest way to the exit? Like, how fast can I, if I give this guy a quick kick this way and a quick karate chop that way, all right, I can bolt straight for the door and I'm out of here, right? So I was terrified. So he goes, yeah, I spoke with somebody on the phone, I'm here for evening prayer. And he goes, okay. Are you here for Shahada? And of course, I couldn't remember the man's name who I spoke with. So I said, yes, I'm here for Shahada. He goes,
You didn't know what the meaning of
come
Shahada, right?
on, give me this
You,
great big old hug.
you didn't know what the
So,
meaning of
of course,
Shahada, so you thought Shahada is the name of a person.
exactly. So the whole time I'm thinking, like, okay, this guy's name must be Shahada. I was like, yeah, I'm here for Shahada. I'm here for Shahada. So pardon me 1 second. Yeah. So
It's
yeah, I
fine.
saw each other. So the whole time he's like, mashallah, mashallah. We go into he's like, this guy's here for Shahada. And everybody's like, mashallah. Everybody's giving me this great big old hug. I'm like, oh, I feel so relieved. I feel so like Oh,
Let me
alhamdulillah.
let me translate.
I
Let me
wasn't there.
translate this part, please.
Yeah.
Let me translate this part, please. So,
Okay.
after he listened that khutbah, he بعد أن استمع إلى تلك الخطبة في المسجد، شعر بأنه يريد التعرف أكثر على الإسلام، وأخبره بعض أصدقائه أنه إذا كنت تحب فعلا التعرف على الإسلام أكثر، لماذا لا تذهب إلى المسجد القريب من منزلك وتسألهم بتعريفك على الإسلام وسيساعدونك بكل رحابة صدر. ما فعل أنه تواصل مع المسجد قرب منزله وترك رقم هاتفه، فاتصلوا به فيما بعد وأخبروه أن يأتي إلى المسجد، فذهب إلى المسجد وقابل أحد الأشخاص هناك، وكان قبل دقائق من أذان المغرب على ما أظن، فدعاه إلى الدخول معه إلى الصلاة وتفرق. فدخل لوحده إلى المسجد في البداية، وكانت المرة الأولى التي يدخل إلى المسجد عبرها. كانت لحظة لن أقول بأنها صعبة، لكن كانت لحظة غريبة بالنسبة إليه. المرة الأولى التي يدخل إلى المسجد وجد الكثير من المسلمين لديهم لحية طويلة، كانوا ينظرون إليه وينظر إليهم. ثم جاءه أحدهم يقول أنه شخص لن ينساه أبدا، وأخبره يبدو أنك ضائع، هل تريد أي مساعدة؟ ثم قال له هل تبحث عن هل أنت هنا من أجل الشهادة؟ فهو لا يعلم ماذا يعني شهادة، وهو لا يعلم اسم الشخص الذي دعاه لإقامة صلاة المغرب، فاعتقد أن شهادة هو اسم ذلك الشخص. فعندما سأله الشخص الثالث هل أنت هنا من أجل شهادة؟ فعبد الرحمن ظن أن شهادة هو اسم الشخص الذي دعاه، فقال نعم أنا هنا من أجل شهادة. فقام المسجد كل المسجد، فقام المسجد كله وكانوا يرحبون به ويقولون هو هنا من أجل الشهادة، مسلم جديد سينطق الشهادة، وهو لا يدري ماذا يحصل، لماذا يحتفلون به. هو فقط ظن أنه يقول على الشخص الذي رحب به ودعاه إلى الصلاة بأنه اسمه شهادة. Yes, you can complete please.
Yeah. So, so mashallah. So, finally, the one gentleman who I spoke with on the phone, he comes in. He's like, "Hi, I'm Brother Tarek. We spoke on the phone," and he's like, "I'm so glad you were able to make it and everything like this." And the whole time he's speaking and speaking and speaking, and I swear he did not breathe once in that whole time because the words were just coming out as he was welcoming me.
We feel
And
excited when
so,
we see someone want to know about Islam,
oh
we want to
no, it
tell
is. It
everything.
is. It
Yes.
is. And so he goes, oh, and so do I understand right? Do I understand? Somebody was telling me that you want to take your Shahada, that, I want to make sure that you understand, when you do your Shahada, you're proclaiming that you want to become a Muslim, you're testifying that, there's only one God worthy of worship, and that Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the final prophet and messenger of God. And then I said, and then I go, yes, I want to take my Shahada, I want to become a Muslim. And then I stopped and I'm like, oh my God, what did I just say? Like, I'm trying to grab these words back to put them back in my mouth. Like, I couldn't even, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put these words in my mouth, and I couldn't, there was no catching those words
Yes.
back. They just came out. They just
No
came
escape.
out. Like, I guess I want to take my shot and become a Muslim.
And
so,
this was when?
I stood up in front of the entire masjid, and I took my shahada right there in front of the East Brunswick community.
And this was when? The date of your Shahada?
And so this was January 19th of 2018. So just 2 years ago.
So you are Muslim for 2 years and 4 months, something like that.
Yes, something like that. Yes.
Subhanallah. So I will translate this part, and after that, because the video will end in 7 minutes, so what we are going to do, that we will make another live after that directly to answer questions of the people that I have. And this video is just, the first live is just to know your story from your side. So, جاء أحد الأشخاص إليه وأخبره بأننا سعيدون بأنك هنا من أجل نطق بالشهادة، ونريد التأكد من أنك تعلم ما هي الشهادة، شهادة أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمد رسول الله. فقال لهم نعم أريد نطق هذه الشهادة. ثم بعد أن قال هذا الكلام لهم، قال في داخله ماذا فعلت؟ لماذا قلت لهم هذا؟ أنا لست هنا لأجل أن أنطق الشهادة. لكن كان يشعر بأن هناك شيء يدفعه لأن ينطق هذه الشهادة، رغم أن هناك شيء آخر لا يريده أن ينطق هذه الشهادة. في النهاية نطق هذه الشهادة أمام المسجد، وهذا الشيء كان في كانون الثاني 2018، يعني هو مسلم منذ 2 و4 أشهر. أخبرته بأن هذا الفيديو سينتهي تقريبا بعد 6 دقائق. هذا الفيديو خصصناه فقط لسماع قصته منه. الفيديو الثاني سنبدأ به فورا بعد انتهاء هذا البث المباشر، سنبدأ ببث مباشر ثاني نجيب به على أسئلتكم عبر فيسبوك وإنستغرام، وأيضا الأسئلة التي ظهرت هنا على اللايف. فسأدعه يتكلم أو خلال هذه الدقائق ال5 المتبقية، ثم نبدأ بفيديو جديد. So during these 5 minutes, I want to ask you some questions, or maybe one or two questions. We don't have too much time. Then the next video,
Okay, yeah.
we are going to try to answer the questions of the people that I received during the last 3 days and even now on the live. Okay. So it's very interesting for me because Islamophobia. Tell me. The battery?
You know what? The battery on my phone is about to go. Can you give me about 2 minutes? I'll go quickly.
Take
go
your time.
inside, plug it in,
Anyway, this video. Yes. Anyway, this video is going to end. So maybe in 5 minutes we start the next video. Okay?
Okay, perfect. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Right,
in 5 minutes.
All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Don't worry. See you inshallah, brother. See you.
Inshallah.
سيعود بعد 5 دقائق إن شاء الله. سنبدأ فيديو جديد. سأفتح التعليقات الآن. Turn on commenting. أوكي. لدينا 4 دقائق حتى انتهاء هذا البث. اتفقنا أن نبدأ بث جديد بعد قليل نجيب به على أسئلتكم. هذا البث كان فقط لسماع القصة منه. لم أرد مقاطعته ولم أرد أن أقول له اختصر بالكلام، لأن يتحدث عن لحظات مهمة في حياته. يعني ربما بالنسبة لكم هي مجرد قصة، لكن بالنسبة له كانت نقطة تحول في حياته، فلم أرد أن أقاطعه ولا أن أقول له اختصر. سبحان الله، يعني هو اسم مختلف، شخص مختلف، جنسية مختلفة، لكن شيء يتكرر دائما في كل مسلم جديد. حادثة حصلت في حياتهم، أسئلة كثيرة في داخلهم لا يوجد عليها إجابات، وجدوا الإجابات في القرآن الكريم. تعرفوا على الإسلام عن طريق مسلمين، وهذا الشيء جميل جدا. أنا أحد الأشخاص الذي يرتكب خطأ دائما ويظن أنه لم يبقى هناك أناس مسلمين عن حق، ولكن سبحان الله، يعني العراقيون الذين تحدث عنهم شعب يقتل على أيدي القوات الأمريكية، ومع ذلك أعطوا الجنود الأمريكان ماء ليشرب. يعني تخيل أن هنالك أحد قادم لقتلك، احتلال أرضك، ومع ذلك تقدم له الماء ليشرب. يعني تخيلوا هذه الأخلاق، شيء صعب وصفه سبحان الله، لكن هذه المواقف هي التي جعلته يفكر بهؤلاء الناس، لماذا قاموا بمساعدتنا ونحن قادمون لنحتل أرضهم. يعني صراحة أنا لا أعرف أي شيء عن قصة إسلامه. يعني أنا كما أخبرتكم شاهدت صورة له على فيسبوك وتقول أن جندي أمريكي أسلم بدون أي تفاصيل أخرى، فبحثت عنه حتى وجدته، وحتى أنه لم يتحدث بتفاصيل كثيرة عن إسلامه عبر صفحتي على فيسبوك، لذلك أحببت أن أقابله في بث مباشر عبر الانستغرام. يعني سبحان الله، لا أدري ماذا أجيب، لكن لو استمعتم إلى قصص هذا رمضان كان هنالك برنامج اسمه قدوة. الشيخ الكندري هو صاحب برنامج بالقرآن اهتديت على مواسم رمضان الماضية. هذا رمضان قام ببرنامج اسمه قدوة، تحدث به عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم، وقابل خلال هذا البرنامج مجموعة من الأجانب وتحدث معهم حول الإسلام. والملفت بأن بعضهم قال أشياء تماما كما قال عبد الرحمن. أتذكر في إحدى الحلقات قال أحدهم أنه أحب النسخة الإسلامية من عيسى عليه السلام أكثر من النسخة المسيحية، رغم أنه مسيحي. يعني سبحان الله. إحدى الأخوات أيضا في إحدى الحلقات قالت بأنني شعرت بأنني دائما مسلمة رغم أنني لست مسلمة، لكن كل شيء في الإسلام كان في داخلي: الإيمان بإله واحد، عدم الاقتناع بأن عيسى هو إله، هو مجرد نبي مثله مثل محمد، مثل موسى، مثل إبراهيم. فشعرت بأنها مسلمة قبل أن تسلم. وعبد الرحمن قال نفس الشيء عندما نظر في الإسلام وتعرف على الإسلام أكثر، شعر بأنه مسلم رغم أنه لم ينطق الشهادة. سبحان الله. متبقي دقيقة ونصف على انتهاء هذا البث. سنقوم ببث مباشر ثاني بعد قليل. لطفا اكتبوا كل أسئلتكم على البث الثاني، لأنني لا أستطيع الوصول إلى هذا البث مرة أخرى وقراءة الأسئلة، لذلك اكتبوا أسئلتكم على البث الجديد إن شاء الله. ألقاكم بعد دقيقة واحدة، في أمان الله. السلام عليكم.